Slide text narrated.
Finding a house to call home has long been a challenge for many people with disability, especially those with complex support or access needs. Specialist Disability Accommodation, SDA, is NDIS funding that seeks to address this by increasing the number and variety of suitable houses. SDA funding pays for the physical house where a person with disability lives. Some people with disability are finding that the available SDA homes aren't suitable. The homes may be located far from their family and work, owned by disability service providers, designed to house more than one person with a disability, clustered alongside other SDA homes, a poor match to their support needs. In this video, you will hear from two families who have been able to use SDA funding creatively to build a home that suits their family member.
You right, Jen?
Yeah. I'm coming to check on you.
Okay, cool.
Montage of Jenna in her own home, including greeting her sister, making her bed, and getting ready for the day. Interview with Jenna and her sister Erin. Montage of Jenna greeting family at the front door.
Yes.
Yeah, so on move-in day it was sort of everyone involved at some point, wasn't it?
And my father helped as well.
Dad and Mum and Jenna's Nana, who's 92.
Nana's 92,
Yep.
so
All her sisters.
all my sisters.
So it was a big team effort.
There was a big team effort anyway.
I think one of the things is when Jenna first moved in, we were all a bit, a bit worried about how she would go to adapting to a new environment, because she doesn't do well with change at times. But again, we're all surprised that it was, as soon as she wheeled in that first time, it was no looking back, and she felt comfortable. She felt, I think, that she was it was her own place. And
Interview with Jenna's father, Ross. Montage of Jenna preparing tea, chatting with her guests, playing cards, and greeting more family members at the front door.
There's a huge demand for SDA, and we could have put Jenna into one of those. She would have gone onto a waiting list and then gone into one of those, into a home or to a duplex or maybe to a unit. But we elected to give her some independence going forward for the rest of her life, that we actually decided to find a block of land and build our own house under the SDA certification so that she could live in her own home.
Erin.
so, it was sort of, we had this goal that Jenna might move out of home by the time she's 25. And everyone wasn't ready for that by the time she was 25 because there weren't the suitable options. We all knew she'd be in a group home, not getting the level of care that she got at home.
Ross.
So the emotional side was a big thing for us. And I think as a family we dealt with that very well collectively. Erin played a huge role in sorting out and being the prime, taking the lead role. First thing we had to do was get Jenna's eligibility sorted out, which we did. And then we had to find a builder and a project manager to build the house to the SDA certification. So that probably adds 20% or thereabouts to a normal home. We found a block of land in the Redlands, which is where we are now.
Jenna hugs her family members and plays indoor bowls with her niece and nephew.
Once the house is built and it then gets inspected by an SDA certifier, they then approve that, and at that point in time we're then funded and we're good to go. So that all happened after the house was completed. So there's quite a lot of steps along the way where the SDA certifier is, they have a big input into the design, and they have checking process along the way to make sure that the house is actually built to that certification. We have borrowed the funds, and that has proven quite difficult. So the traditional banking system still hasn't caught up with the SDA program.
Jenna and Erin hang artwork in her home. Interview with Erin and Jenna continues with montage of Jenna sharing a meal with her family.
I didn't even expect to see her confidence, and even realising she has abilities that we didn't know she had because she couldn't access. She was in an able-bodied world. Just seeing her have the confidence when we get here. She can come let us in. She can do the washing now. She can help in the kitchen.
But I was
She can you can get me a biscuit instead of me getting you a biscuit.
Oh, darling.
Montage of Jenna chatting with her family members.
Maybe not this Christmas because we're a bit soon, but we might come to your house for Christmas next year.
Yeah.
You gonna make a turkey?
No.
Slide text narrated.
There are specific categories of SDA funding, including improved livability, fully accessible, high physical support, and robust. Only about 6% of NDIS participants will be eligible for SDA.
Julius's parents arrive at his home, and Julius greets them. Interview with Julius's parents, Juliana and Duncan. Montage of Juliana touring the home, pointing out key features.
Julius is 20 years old. My background is in architecture. I have a bachelor in architecture.
Julius jumps up and down with excitement.
This is Julius's home. This is the lunch room. When it came to designing our son's house, my mind was ticking away years before we actually got to do it. Hey. There is Julius's beautiful painting. It's very handy, it's very spacious, it's open. We are very glad to be able to say that we've built a home for him, thanks to the SDA component of the NDIS.
Our home is only about 80 metres away from Julius's. We've built it under the SDA villa classification, and Julius loves having family close by.
But not in his face.
But not in his face. We can come and visit, but we get told when to leave as well.
You know, we are talking about some fun things, but also some very unfun things, such as very serious seizures, life-threatening seizures that Julius goes through. And when they happen, Julius's support team give us a call, and we come flying down the hill, and we are there.
Julius's parents walk down their driveway and look towards Julius's home.
Well, when he's recovering from a seizure, there comes a point where he starts feeling better, and that's when he goes, "Mommy, Daddy, thank you, bye-bye. Go, I'm going to be okay now."
Julius wants to be involved in everything in his home. If the lawn needs mowing, Julius wants to be there doing the mowing. He wants to go and use the washing machine and the dryer. He wants to be involved in cooking.
He wants to be able to tell people to go away if he doesn't want them there.
Yeah.
And we actually love that, because when he says, "Mommy, Daddy, thank you, bye-bye."
Montage of home tour continues, showing robust features like windows and cabinets.
There are so many fine details that need to be looked at, and so many things which are different, especially with a robust type of house. You can't take shortcuts like builders often do.
Juliana stands in the outdoor courtyard.
From here, he gets to watch what's happening at Mum's and Dad's. So we knew that what we needed for Julius would be a freestanding villa with its own courtyard and fenced around and gated to stop absconding. And that is what we've achieved.
Sign reads, Julius's home. Montage of home tour continues, including showing paintings and movable furniture.
After becoming an SDA provider and registering the dwelling, we have had little to do. There was one audit we had to pass, and apparently once every 3 years that'll continue. But from there, the bureaucracy fades away, and it's a very simple process.
Yeah, I think we've tried really hard to turn some of the really horrific experiences we've had as a family to figuring out for ourselves, how do we want to live? What sort of opportunities do we want to give Julius? We try to listen to him and hear what he feels, what he finds calming, what he finds empowering. Natural light is so important, the psychology of the place. Because really, when you are designing robust, you are halfway between physical issues and halfway between psychological issues. And if you get the psychology of it right, then you've won half the battle. And that's where the design needs to be really quite customized for the person.
Julius and his family step into the courtyard and he jumps on the trampoline with his dad.
You need to have the right team of carers. And it's just peaceful. It has given us some peace.
Julius has a real sense of ownership of this home. It's not somewhere that he's temporarily staying. It's not mum and dad's house. It's not anything else. It's Julius's home, and it does bring him joy.
Slide text narrated.
NDIS funding guidelines change over time. For the latest information on SDA, see www.ndis.gov.au, www.myhomemyway.com.au, www.summerfoundation.org.au.
Slide text. With thanks to Jenna, Julius and their families for sharing their stories with us. Director and camera, Peter Hedgedis. Editor, Zlatan Vladic. This film was created on the lands of the Quandamuka and Ugamba people. Closing slide, graphic text. Produced by Community Resource Unit for My Home, My Way. www.myhomemyway.com.au. This video was part of the National Alliance of Capacity Building Organisations My Home, My Way project. This video was funded by the Australian Government Department of Social Services. NACBO makes every effort to provide accurate and up-to-date material. However, information is subject to change, and our material is for reference only. Logos, Community Resource Unit, My Home, My Way, and NACBO.